Welcome to Raptor Recap, where we take a look at what happened in Raptor Nation the week of January 5th, 2020. We started off the week with two of our athletes signing to run track next year. Taya Hinkledye signed to run track at Morningside, and Caitlin Weiss signed to run cross country and track for the Red Raiders of Northwestern. Best wishes to both of these Raptors as they continue their academic and athletic careers. A look at sports action for last week finds our middle school boys basketball team hosting OABCAG in Early on Monday. Our 7th grade team lost 11-44, and our 8th grade team won 38-20. On Tuesday, middle school boys hosted River Valley, where it was a sweep. 7th grade won 26-23, and 8th grade won convincingly 46-11. On Thursday, the middle school boys hosted OABCAG again, where the 7th grade lost a close one 24-26, and the 8th grade won in overtime 37-32. Middle school girls traveled to Aurelia last week to take on the Warriors of Alta Aurelia. The middle school girls traveled to Otabote on Thursday. Our 7th grade Raptors lost to OABCIG 17-35, and our 8th grade team won 58-22. Our high school wrestlers came back from break ready to compete. On Tuesday, they traveled to Carroll to wrestle at Kemper. Our Raptors lost to Carroll High 42-25, lost to Kemper 43-30, and won against Audubon. Thursday, they traveled to Sloan to compete at Westwood. Our Raptors lost to Westwood 34-48, but came back to win against Kingsley Pearson 42-40. On Saturday, the wrestlers were on the bus at 6:30 a.m. to travel to the tournament in Hawarden. Finals for the day included 5th place finishers Chance Hansen, Bracken Conover, and Gary Juliffs. 4th place finishers were Ethan Thomas and Lucas Else. Troy Priest brought home 3rd place, and Xander Ernst was 1st place. Congratulations. High school basketball was back in full swing as our Raptors hosted Sioux Central on Tuesday. The games were played in Shaler, where our JV girls won 28-26, JV boys lost 28-47, varsity girls lost a close one 34-37, and varsity boys lost 38-46. Friday, the games were in Holstein, where the JV girls played 2 quarters and lost in overtime 15-17. JV boys had a convincing win of 51-27. Varsity girls fought hard but came up with the loss 51-60. Varsity boys won their 3rd game of the season 53-45. Rounding out our sports action, we followed archery to a tournament in Lawton. Our Raptors finished 3rd as a team with a score of 3,086. Cassie Allen finished 3rd overall for the girls division, and Caden Beatty finished 4th overall in the boys division. As a quick side note, our cheerleaders recently cleaned out the cheer closet and found all sorts of treasures. They are willing to part with the old uniforms they found in order to raise money to pay for some new uniforms they had to buy this year. If you are interested in owning a piece of Ridgeview/Galville Holstein/Shaler Crestland vintage history, please contact cheer coach Holly Reganator at the Ridgeview Middle School. With the first full week back in school after break, everyone was ready to get back to learning. At Shaler Crestland, Mrs. Green's 3rd grade class continued to learn about force. In Science Mystery, students learned about friction, the force that slows you down on a playground slide. In the activity, the Great Slide Challenge, students worked in groups of 4 to test which materials have the most friction and which materials have the least friction. The students in Mrs. Mayday's 4th grade class in Shaler have been working on finding equivalent fractions and finding simplest forms of fractions. On Tuesday, students were put into groups and had to find equivalent fractions using fraction strips. They had to figure out which fractions were equivalent by figuring out how many parts you needed of one to fit the parts of another. For example, you need 2 1/4 pieces to make 1/2. What a great hands-on activity to make fractions not so intimidating. The 2nd grade classes in Holstein enjoyed having Erica Wagner present Egg in the Classroom again this month. Erica explained to the students the many aspects of raising pigs. The class talked about all the things, not just the food, that is made from a pig. There's a saying that goes, "We'll use every part of the pig except the oink." Did you know that pigs are used to make crayon, glue, artist brushes, fabric dye, and even insulin? At any given time, there are about 20 million pigs in the state of Iowa. Guess that's why we are number 1 in the nation for pig production. As a hands-on activity, the students were to make a shelter for a pig, but could only use uncooked spaghetti and marshmallows. There were some pretty creative constructions that students came up with, none of which any of us have seen as an Iowa hog confinement. Mrs. Brosamoli's 4th grade class in Galva have been working hard on dioramas about books they have read in their literature circles. Thanks to some help from a grad student, our students worked on a very creative presentation. Through the use of a green screen and a green screen app, the students will invite you into their diorama and show you around. Look for these videos to be posted early this week. You won't be disappointed. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Raptor Recap. We appreciate the continued positive support from our parents, communities, and fans. Working together, we will provide a bright future for all of our students.